Hey guys, this is Becca and this is my video 6 of 2018. This week I submitted my lesson 1 homework for DrawABox and I started the 250 box challenge. So for the submissions, there's very clear guidelines on the DrawABox website, and you won't be reviewed if you do not submit your homework correctly. So follow the directions. I submitted mine and I got some really helpful feedback, very specific critiques of things, which is awesome because when you're training yourself or you're trying to learn off of internet resources, often you don't get any feedback. So it's really nice when you get the opportunity to have some very concrete feedback on specific examples and specific exercises. So I got some feedback on that and that was great. But ultimately I passed lesson 1 and I moved on to the next challenge, which is the 250 box challenge, which is very self-explanatory. You just draw 250 boxes. Which seems really easy, right? That seems so straightforward. 250 boxes, so easy. No, it's not easy. Of course it's not easy. Nothing's easy. Why is drawing so hard? It's so hard. Anyway, I started this challenge. So you draw a page of boxes and then you actually go back in and extend the edges of the box so that you can see if you got close to where the vanishing points should have been. You go through a page, correct it, and then start another page. And then go on and on and on and on and on until you have 250 boxes. So I have some good news and some bad news about how this went last week. I'll start with the bad news so that we can end with the good news. The bad news was that I realized after a while that I was resting my hand on the paper with kind of a lot of force, and I was realizing that I was drawing predominantly with my elbow, like this, as opposed to with your shoulder, which is what you should be doing. And even I was trying to correct that, thinking about it, don't use your elbow, but I kept, with my hand on the paper, I just kept relying on using my elbow and my wrist as well to make the line straight. So I ended up switching to trying to draw with my hand hovering above the paper so that it wasn't actually, I was holding the pen, but it wasn't actually resting on the paper. And that is really hard. I don't know, you guys can give me some feedback on this. Is this even a reasonable thing that people do? It feels almost impossible that you could ever have control doing this, but I've been trying to do that for probably about half the boxes I've done so far. And I haven't really seen a lot of improvement, so maybe it's a fool's errand to try to be able to draw without resting your hand on the paper, but I'd be interested in hearing what your guys' experience has been with that. So that was the challenging part. It wasn't really that bad, but I did realize I had these bad habits that I needed to correct. The good news was that these improved a lot over I did 100 boxes this week. So over 100 boxes, I saw honestly an enormous amount of improvement, both in accuracy and that my boxes were getting more likely to actually have accurate vanishing points, but also in just my general understanding of how a box works. So when I started, I couldn't even figure out how to make it so that you could see the bottom of a box, or how you could make a box skinny or fat or rotate to one angle. I just sort of put the dots down and connected them, and I was like, oh, so that's what happens when you do that, and made variations just to see what happened, but I had no control over what kind of box I was actually drawing. So after 100 boxes, I actually am much better at that. And it feels kind of cool. You can think, oh, I want to draw a box that's at this angle and it's flat and you can see the bottom of it. And then you can just kind of draw a box. It's like magic, box magic. So that was really exciting and something that I had just always wanted to be able to do. It seems like such a fundamental skill, but I think sometimes you just have to repeat things a lot of times to understand how to do them. And even from, as I said before, I've read a lot of books about perspective, but nothing ever made it so that I could do things on my own. When I wanted to create something on my own, I could copy things, but I couldn't actually create things from my imagination. So that has been really exciting. Now, I do have 150 boxes to go, so I'm imagining there's still going to be a lot of improvement. But yeah, so far it's been really fun. I haven't actually gotten too bored yet, but I can kind of see that might be happening next week. I'll keep you updated. But otherwise, it's just been very cool. You can see progress over time. It's kind of quick progress. It doesn't take years to see a lot of improvement. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, week 1 of the 250 box challenge, and I'll be back next week for more boxes. On to the drawings.